Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. Take it on the run, on the run, on the run. Hear them calling you and me, every son of liberty. Hurry right away, no delay, go today. Make your daddy glad to have had such a lad. Tell your sweetheart not to pine, to be proud her boys in line. Over there, over there, over there, over there. Send the word over there. That the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming. The drum coming everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer. Send the word to beware. We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over there.
Good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Tom Chase, and I had the honor of directing this production. So nice to see all of you here today. Before we get started, I'd like to thank any of the veterans that are here today. It is because of your service and the sacrifices made by you and your families that we all get to enjoy our freedoms. So I want to thank you for that. A few months ago, we came upon this play. We decided it'd be very meaningful to do it this time of year. Partly because of Veterans Day and partly because we're going to open a military wing, so that would be kind of fun to see. North Dakota Voices of the Great War was actually based on letters written by nurses and soldiers that were in France during World War I. So a lot of the words you hear are going to had come from real people. If you get a chance after the play out in the lobby, we do have a couple of scrapbooks that have newspaper articles of some of these letters that were written. So you can take a look at those and see that. This play kind of shows you the excitement and the enthusiasm for going to war, and then once getting to war, the reality of how terrible war really was. So we would like you to sit back, reflect, and enjoy North Dakota, Voices of the Great War. Thank you.
Dear Mother, I'm a long way from North Dakota.
Dear Father, it's cold here in France.
Dear Jenny, the amputation is scheduled for tomorrow.
Dear Grandpa, I got kissed by a soldier today.
Mourn not for them, for their trials are o'er, and why weep for those who will weep no more? For sweet is the sleep, though cold and hard, their pillows lay deep in the old churchyard.
How are the children, darling? And
miss you.
Tell Judy hi from me.
How's the harvest in the Dakotas this season?
Give Johnny a kiss goodnight from his dad.
It sure means a lot to me to know that somebody's going to read this letter who cares about me and about what I'm going through.
My granddaddy fought in the Civil War. My daddy fought in the Spanish-American War with Teddy Roosevelt. So you bet your boots I'm going to be part of this war.
My ambition growing up was to become a musician or a Red Cross nurse. I thought the most inspiring thing in the whole world was to see a nurse in uniform.
Soon as they put the word out, America's in the war, I went on down to the post office and signed my name on the dotted line. This was my chance to see the world outside of North Dakota.
On the afternoon of October 1st, 1917, Miss May McCulloch, public health nurse of Grand Forks, called me by telephone. She asked me if I would be willing to do war service. I replied that I didn't know the first thing about war service, but was willing to do anything I could for my God, my country, and my fellow men in time of need. In 10 days from that date, I had travel orders, and I was on my way.
Jenny!
What is it?
Guess what I did.
I don't know. You finally get the guts to ask my father's permission?
That's coming, I swear, Jenny. No, it's something else. Big.
You're gonna have to tell me, Michael.
I enlisted.
In the army?
Of course in the army. What else? I just got back from the post office, filled out the paperwork, got my physical. I'm leaving in a week.
You didn't tell me.
I know, but you know me. Ain't you a little proud?
I am, Michael. I am.
You know I've been aching to get over there.
I know. A week, huh?
Yeah.
Well, then we got a lot of work to do, don't we?
What do you mean?
Well, you gotta talk to my father, number one. Then we gotta talk to the priest. I gotta get a dress. I ain't gonna be married in some old rag, Michael. We are getting married, aren't we?
Yeah, sure we are.
Great. I'll also need a ring as soon as possible.
Okay, can do.
You better write while you're over there. I'll be waiting on those letters.
And we're leaving port. Can it really be? After a whole year of anticipation and waiting, are we really off to the battlefield? Sailing over the bounding deep. Should I live to sail to Europe 1,000 times? There'll be no last farewells, no casting off, quite compared to this.
Music and dancing and a band concert and tea. This is going to war in the 20th century. I remain so engrossed in all that's going on aboard ship that I can't find time to write or words to express my sentiments. Lily and Jane, is this actually happening to you? Are you so fortunate as to be fitted to help in this world struggle?
I've lived my whole life in Botno, North Dakota.
In Fargo, North Dakota.
In Carrington, North Dakota.
In Bismarck, North Dakota.
Now it's time to get over there!
Over there, over there. Send the word over there.
That the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming. The drums rum-tumming everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer. Send the word to beware. That the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming. We won't come back till it's over there.
Dear Cousin Esther, can you imagine a young soldier writing to you from a hole in the ground about 6 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 3 feet deep, with a shelter tent over it, rain pouring down on all sides, and so dark that one must have a candle to see by? If you can imagine this, then you can see me.
Let me tell you about the company we have. These big trench rats the size of a cat. They're so thick and dumb they run between our legs. They chew up our clothes and everything we leave laying around. You know, we used to make raids on them and run our bayonets through them. In the morning, we'd line them up and count them and see who had the most. Then, we have another friend, which we call the dearly loved cozies. In other words, the lady lice. They play tag in the corner and all sorts of other games which we are not accustomed to, especially when we're trying to get a wink of sleep. We have a little song, which goes like this. Sing a song of cooties, shorts so full of them, romping over everywhere from collar band to hem. When the neck is opened, it sure gives you a shock. Isn't it a pretty mess to set before a dock? All sorts of things run through a fellow's mind before going over the top. It may be the last of you. So we make up our mind to get as many as the Boches, that's the Germans, as we can, before they get us.
Over there, send the word over there. That the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming.
Will you shut up, Beck? Yeah, Beck, shut up! That's an order. It's gonna be any second now.
You get any Fritzes yet, Bart?
Nah, not yet.
I got me 6. Last when I took their Luger. It's freaking beautiful.
I'm gonna get me a Fritz this time.
Shut up, Wilson.
I can't do it.
Yes, you can. Shut up.
I gotta get out of here. Out of here.
Wilson's wetting his damn pants over here.
New recruits ain't worth spit.
You want your mama, Wilson? Get it together.
What's the matter, Wilson?
I can't do it, Sarge. I can't do it.
Well, sure you can.
No, I can't. I know I can't.
Hey, look at me. Look at me. You can do this. I'm gonna be next to you the whole way. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Good man. I'll see you on the other side. Over the top! Come on!
About midnight, the Germans started bombing us, throwing over one of those barrages you've read about. And when they were through shelling that little wood, there was a shell hole every 50 feet. And in some places, the holes joined together. Big shells, little shells, high explosives, whiz-bangs, shrapnel, big GI cans. They poured them over like rain for an hour. We were laying on top of the ground, so in an attempt to get some kind of shelter, we started running. Those shells were all around us. Trees were crashed to the ground as though a cyclone was on. One of those shells will fell a tree 3 feet thick, just like it was a matchstick. Some of the shells burst into the air, and the screams of the flying pieces of steel whisked past our heads. Together with the explosions of those which burst on the ground, it made one think all hell had broken loose. I can't figure out how I wasn't killed.
Just let me die! Just leave me! You're gonna be alright, okay? You're gonna be alright! Why did you pull me out of there? Just let me die! I'm freaking deformed, I can't see anything! Shut up! You're gonna get us both killed, you gotta shut up! I can't see, Nicholas, I'm blind! How do I look? Tell me the truth! You kidding me? It's a scratch. They're gonna fix you up. You're gonna be beautiful again, don't worry! Americanus! Nicholas! Nicholas! Get away from him! I'll kill you! Get away from him! I'll kill you! Nicholas! Nicholas! Nicholas!
Fritz decided to gas us that night. He gassed us for 9 hours, and for 9 long hours I wore my gas mask. Talk about a headache. Mine was just splitting. Around 6 in the morning, he decided to quit. Right away I began to vomit and feel the effects of the burns caused by the mustard gas. By noon, my eyes had closed, and I was totally blind for 19 days. I was burned all over my body, from my knees to the top of my head.
Our boys, blind, wounded, maimed, were brought to us begging to die, for they didn't wish to go home helpless, disfigured, and a burden to their families and their country. Trying to encourage and uplift their morale and keep up our own was not an easy task.
We nurses went by ambulance to Field Hospital number 112, located in a shell-torn building at Chateau Thierry. We worked all night and the following day in a building with windows, doors, and shell holes covered in heavy dark blankets, lest the enemy see a glimmer of light from our candles. The noise of guns and exploding bombs striking terror into our hearts. Our souls sick at the sight of our boys. From 7 that evening to 7 the next morning, 1,000 wounded were brought in.
We had every form of infectious and contagious disease in that ward, with only curtains separating each case. The influenza epidemic of 1918 was a never-to-be-forgotten experience. In our camp, I believe there were nearly 5,000 cots, row on row, head to foot, all filled with boys hit by the flu. 5 of our nurses died too.
We didn't have enough nurses. Sick men would rush in, fall on the floor, and have to stay there until we could get to them. Each nurse would have to care for up to 80 wounded men.
Nurse, we have no more room for any more soldiers.
Just one more, ma'am.
Absolutely not. There is no room. You need to take him someplace else.
There is nowhere else.
Put him in the hall for now.
The hall is full. There's room there.
your name, soldier?
Jonathan,
Are you hurt anywhere else besides your leg?
I got a pain in my chest. I don't know though.
We're gonna help you, all right? Nurse Merrick! Oh, wait, how many are in the halls right now?
I don't know, at least 60.
My nurses haven't eaten in 8 hours. They haven't slept in 12 hours. Is there any word of replacements coming?
No, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do with the boys as they come in?
Put them in our beds.
In our beds?
Yes, our beds. They need beds right now and we don't.
Yes, ma'am.
Nurse Merrick, these wounds have not been dressed properly. When was the last time you administered morphine?
An hour ago?
He needs more.
All right, Jonathan, let's take a look at that leg.
Miss Harlan,
What is it?
a messenger just arrived. We will not be getting any replacements tonight.
Then let's carry on.
Yes, ma'am.
The lad was Canadian, about 22. Elbow joint smashed and the whole arm stiff and swollen and full of gas gangrene. Getting off the dressing, I could hear the bones crunching and grating on the inside. Then I had to pull off hard, dry sponges and haul out yards of packing that kept catching on the splintered bone.
The lad just turned his head away and never made a sound. Once, I accidentally touched a bare nerve end with my forceps. I looked at him. His eyes were full of tears and pupils enormously dilated with pain. But not a word out of him. "Carry on, sister," he said.
As a summary, let me tell you just a few of the things I've seen in this last month in hell. I've been over the top 3 times. I've run through a machine gun fire as murderous as anything I've yet seen in this war. I've lain wounded in a battlefield, wounded for 2 hours. While machine gun bullets cut the grass not 1 inch over my face.
I have lain wounded and been shot at by a sniper who took out a number of my friends all around me. I've been bombarded by shrapnel, high explosive shells, mustard gas, phosphine gas, vomiting gas. I've been shot at by airplanes. I have known men who have gone raving mad.
I've seen men with arms blown off, legs blown off, heads blown off. I have had men killed on all sides of me. I have had my clothing off 4 times in the last 3 months. When I sleep, I dream of killing.
The kiss. To these I turn, and in these I trust. Brother lead and sister steel, to his blind power I make appeal. I guard her beauty, clean from rust. He spins and burns and loves the air, and splits a skull to win my praise. But up the nobly marching days, she glitters naked, cold and fair. Sweet sister, grant your soldier this, that in good fury he may feel the body where he sets his heel, quail from your downward darting kiss.
The biggest mistake old Kaiser Bill made was when he rang Uncle Sam's doorbell. Our little bunch of Yankee hay tossers are driving the Fritzy down Broadway like a fat cow.
Us Americans pounce upon the Boche like lions. Picture a hungry lion entering a wood and eagerly looking around for prey. Well, that's the pep of us Yanks when we go for the Boche. The first Boche that appears, we knock him cold.
You know, the other day I asked one of the German prisoners what he thought of us Americans. He said that the French and Englishmen were a bunch of pansies, but that the Americans could fight like hell.
It's fun to shoot a machine gun. I have a good time over here. It's about that time you'd like to see the Kaiser and all his cohorts in the lower regions. And now we were taking care of the fire.
We'd sure make it hot for him. Be like the good book says, weeping, wailing, and the gnashing of teeth.
Those Huns are the sneakiest people you want to meet. 3 of us got within 20 feet of him, and he ran out and shouted, "Kamerad!" with a string tied to his boot, operating a machine gun. We thought there was another man in the pit at first. Oh, all I gotta say is he didn't last long. I sure jerked him and would have finished him too, if it weren't for that lieutenant nearby.
If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot.
If we must die, oh let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed. In vain, then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us, though dead.
O kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us show us brave, and for their 1,000 blows, deal 1 death blow. What though before us lies the open grave?
Like men, we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back.
We are all making sacrifices one way or the other for the glory of our flag and our Uncle Samuel. God bless them. And if our efforts are to avail, and the history that we are making over there convinces us that it does avail, this nation shall not perish, but emerge from this conflict greater and more glorified than ever.
Mother, let me tell you that if there is any American girl back home who won't either knit or sew for the Red Cross, you take her out and beat her up for me. And afterwards, every Christian ostracize her. Just think of a boy dying of fever on a cot without a mattress, sheets, or pillows. We need all the supplies you send us.
I hear that some North Dakotans oppose the war. There are deserters in every community. Galoots that oppose this war at this stage in the game and who preach cantankerously against it are the most vicious enemies America has to deal with and should be more severely punished than the Huns themselves. They have been raised in this liberty-loving country, have partaken of the prosperity of this same country, have acquired and fostered anarchist ideals even under this good influence, and are therefore nearer guilty for their wrong ideas than are the Huns. Hang them up by their toenails, shake their eye winkers off them, and make them come to time. The time of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Well, you know what I think? Next war, let's get all the Kaisers, presidents, generals, and politicians together Put them in a field, strip them down to their skivvies, and give each of them a club. Last man standing, his country wins.
Recruiting. Lads, you're wanted. Go and help. On the railway carriage wall stuck the poster, and I thought of the hands that penned the call. Fat civilians wishing they could go out and fight the Hun. Can't you see them thanking God they're over 41? Girls with feathers, vulgar songs, washy verse on England's mead. God, and don't we damned well know how the message ought to read? Lads, you're wanted. Over there. Shiver in the morning dew. More poor devils like yourselves, waiting to be killed by you. Go and help to swell the names of the casualty lists. Help to make a column stuff for the blasted journalists. Help to keep them nice and safe from the wicked German foe. Don't let them come over here. Lads, you're wanted. Out you go. There's a better word than that, lads. And can't you hear it come? From 1,000,000 men that call you to share their martyrdom. Leave the harlots still to sing comic songs about the Hun. Leave the fat old men to say, now we've got 'em on the run. Better 20 honest years than their dull 80. Lads, you're wanted. Come and learn to live and die with honest men. You shall learn what men can do if you will but pay the price. Learn the gaiety and strength in the gallant sacrifice. Take your risk of life and death underneath the open sky. Live clean or go out quick. Lads, you're wanted. Come and die.
I have read that Columbus kissed the earth when he first discovered America. I promise I'm going to do the same when I land back in the good old USA.
I was glad to hear that the crops were coming along in such fine shape, but I also hear that you need rain. Haven't heard from you since. Please write. Keep those letters coming. Here's hoping that North Dakota, especially Logan County, gets a bumper. You could certainly use it.
Thanks for sending the newspapers from back home. Even if you just send the headlines, it's nice to know what's going on in North Dakota and in the world.
Governor and his wife are hit as waffle makers.
Moorhead Fire Station burns down.
Counter-revolution plots in Russia.
War diet cuts down on fat men in North Dakota.
I'm stewing a couple of prunes for breakfast and cooking some spuds with their jackets on. Wouldn't a good feed of pancakes and North Dakota plum butter hit the right spot these mornings?
I haven't had a letter from you folks this week. I only hope I get one tonight, as it is kind of lonesome without one. You might send me some papers if you will. One of the boys got a package from home with some tobacco, cigarettes, and Hershey's chocolate in it. I don't care for that. But you might sprinkle a few sticks of gum on some of your letters. Certainly would be appreciated.
As Christmas approached, we nurses made preparation for giving our patients a home brand Christmas. We scoured the towns and villages for suitable materials, hoarded sugar and cocoa for candy making. With magnificent disregard for forestry regulations, we cut down evergreen trees. We felt naughty, but we rather liked it.
I told them we'll go uptown and buy them some toys. Make them feel like little boys. Make them forget where they are. Some of the boys were as young as 16, 18, and 20, so they seemed like little boys. This was the first Christmas away from home for many of them.
Now we got something we've been working on for you.
I don't wanna get well, I don't wanna get well. I'm in love with a beautiful nurse. Early every morning, night and noon, the cutest little girlie comes and feeds me with a spoon. I don't wanna get well, I don't wanna get well. I'm glad they shot me on the fighting line, fine. The doctor says that I'm in bad condition. But oh, I've got so much ambition. I don't wanna get well, I don't wanna get well, for I'm having a wonderful time.
Now that was just darling. Now I know many of you have never been away from home for Christmas before, so we're doing our best to bring a good old Yankee Christmas to you. We're gonna have music and presents and dancing, but first, we just received all the Christmas mail from the States. Hi, Jack. How you doing? You want to be my dance? I'm so sorry, Jack.
Dear Martha, I received your letter about our little girl. I don't know what to say. I'm glad the flu spared you at least. I wish I could be with you right now.
Mother, did you get my cablegram? I hope you did, for although the truth is often terrible, it is still best for one to know. The one blessing is that brother died quickly after he was wounded and had no suffering. His wound was not so very large, but proved fatal because it severed his spine. Had he lived, his suffering would have been almost unbearable, and he would have always been crippled.
To see him go made an impression on me I can't explain. Nothing has or could hit me with such a blow. I will be over it only when I'm on the other side with him. At the end, he showed no signs of pain. He told us he was ready to meet his God.
You may not believe it, but what I've gone through has made a better Christian of me in many respects. I've seen a lot, undergone hardships galore, and have more of a chance to study human nature. War will bring it out, if anything will.
I'm not sure which is the greatest evangelist, Billy Sunday or a barrage put over by the big guns. But certain I am that you will find more boys here praying to God Almighty with fervent lips than would have been found in peace times. And a quiet afternoon in a dugout looks more like a Bible class than a battlefield. Each one is reading his little khaki-covered testament.
A bunch of us have been playing football this afternoon, having such a good time. I'm a little too stiff for my rheumatism to do much running, but I can take a kick at it once in a while. It's only 100 feet to the YMCA, so we can get a little extra in the eats line. When we are around, they generally have quite a trade. We can get canned fruit, lemonade, tobacco, cigarettes. The Red Cross nurses are really good to us. You never hear the boys complain when the nurses are around.
Hey there, Miss Jane.
Hi, Joe. How you feeling?
I'm fine.
Legs feeling better?
I'm just about ready to go dancing again. Can I sit? I feel like you're always asking us how we're doing. How are you doing?
I was just reading a story about Veronica. Do you remember it? Our Lord was carrying his cross to Calvary, and he stopped by this woman, Veronica, who'd wiped his face with her veil, and he had left a picture of his face on that veil.
That's beautiful.
Everyone always thinks of it as a beautiful moment of love and compassion, but all she did was wipe his face. She couldn't save him from death. She couldn't ease his suffering as much as I'm sure she wanted to. Boys pass through my hands every single day, and I want so much to save them, but I can't. Usually the best thing I can do is wipe their face before they die.
You give them love, Miss Jane. Like Veronica gave. It means more than you know.
We found our American boys gentlemanly, courteous, and courageous under the most trying circumstances. Reliable and trustworthy, always were they in service for the country we all loved. Living with the Army for 13 months overseas, these boys were my friends, my brothers, my comrades.
Comrade! Comrade! You watch him. I'll find out where to take him.
Cigarette?
Danke.
So, why'd you surrender?
Was?
Why did you surrender?
Hunger.
What?
Hunger.
Oh, you hungry? Here.
Yeah. Danke. Herbert.
So, why are you fighting? You don't like France or America or something?
Was? Nein, America! Charlie Chaplin!
You seen Charlie Chaplin?
Yeah! Charlie Chaplin! Gesehen?
Oh, this is your wife and baby?
America, wir!
You want to go to America with your family?
Ja, zu Amerika! Why do, fight?
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was the right thing to do. What about your friend here?
He, singen. Kommt ihr bald, singen. Mach schon, okay.
Stille Nacht, heilige Nacht, alle schläft, einsam wacht, nur das traute heilige Paar, holt der Knab im lockigen Haar, schlaf in himmlischer Ruhe, schlaf in himmlischer Ruhe, stiller Nacht.
Why did you shoot?
I thought they jumped you!
He was singing a song, you dumb! I'm sorry, okay? Just get out of here!
Oh my God!
How is he?
Oh my God!
That's my friend, you're shooting! No!
His was a real soldier's death. He was devoted to duty, cared nothing for himself, was utterly fearless. Did I say his death was heroic? That is a weak word for it. It was sublime. And when the last great roll is called, and the book of life is opened so that all may read, you will find his name among those who have done great, heroic, self-sacrificing deeds.
Tut mir leid.
Every night we would search no man's land for the wounded. They would be crying out, sometimes screaming for their mamas. Some of them we couldn't find in time. Some of them we just couldn't get to. They might scream for days until they die.
Summer evening in July. We had held trenches for 6 months. I had seen my fellow comrades torn to pieces, lying bleeding and dying. I had helped to bandage their wounds, had gone for days with their blood on my hands, because we couldn't get enough water to drink, let alone to wash. I had helped to bury them on the battlefield. And then, this beautiful summer evening in July, I took a stroll all by myself to see the town. I never saw anything so beautiful. Fruit hanging from the trees, birds singing, flowers were wonderful. I saw a young girl coming up the road, leading a boy just big enough to toddle along. She said in broken French and English, "Why does Monsieur travel so far alone?" I told her the evening was wonderful, and I felt so free after being in the trenches so long. I asked her if she was afraid to walk with a soldier. She said, "Not an American soldier. American soldiers are good." We walked and talked about the war and the trenches. Then she said, "My boy is getting tired. I will have to carry him." I put him on my shoulder. Then I said, "You mean your brother, don't you?" She told me how the Germans had taken her town, killed her father and mother, her 3 brothers, how the Germans had their way with her, how afterwards she had wanted to kill herself, but her sister stopped her. She pointed to the little boy on my shoulder and said, "Bosh, baby." Then she cried and cried as her little Bosh baby was putting flowers in my trench cap. This little girl was not more than 16.
I saw a dead Belgian refugee, probably 9 or 10 years old, who had been burned at the stake while his father and mother were shot down. We buried an American the other day. He was stabbed 4 times in the abdomen, and then his hands were cut off. The end draws near, and victory is assured. But the cost, it is impossible to comprehend by those so far away. Do not consider my tales even worth telling. Why speak about meager rations when some go without any? Why tell the loss of a friend when whole divisions are wiped out? Why should I weep when men, women, and children suffer here in silence? Try it. The shadows of this will envelop the generations unborn.
Oh my God, it hurts! Oh my God! Ah!
Just hold on. Put your hand on this.
I ain't gonna make it. I know it.
Do not talk like that. I need some assistance here! What's your name, soldier?
Bart.
Bart? You're gonna make it and I'm gonna help you, okay? I need some assistance!
I can feel my legs.
We're gonna get that bullet out of you and you're gonna be just as good as new, okay? Keep your hand on this. Are you married?
I got a little girl.
Yeah? What's her name?
Alright.
Tell me about her.
I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my
Go
legs.
get that doctor, okay?
No! Don't leave me. I ain't gonna see my little girl again.
You are gonna see her, Bart, I promise you.
Don't leave me.
I'm not gonna let you go.
Don't leave
I'm
me.
not gonna let you go. I'm not gonna let you go. I'm not gonna.
Miss Claire, the doctor needs your help.
I can't do this anymore. I can't do this.
I know.
I can't do this anymore. I can't do this.
I know.
I can't do this.
I know.
I can't do this.
We're all they have, Claire. We have to do this.
Hundreds of people were forced to evacuate from the town last night. Cattle trains are crowded with half-crazed men, women, children, and little babies. They had only 10 minutes in which to leave their homes, and as the trains pulled out of the stations, the Germans bombed them
again and again as they rushed towards Paris. Many were injured.
It makes me sick to write about it. But a little boy and his sister were crowded in a corner of the train with their mother holding them close. A shell fell on the train and the mother's head was blown off. The little girl died before they reached Paris, and the poor scared little boy was brought alone into the hospital, his body and clothing soaked in thick, sticky blood. The boy was not hurt. It was his mother's blood that covered the child. One cannot think, much less speak, of such horrors.
Dulce et decorum est. Bent double like beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge. Till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on bloodshod. All went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas! Gas! Quick, boys! An ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone still there was yelling and stumbling, and floundering like a man in fire or lime. Dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea I saw him drowning. In all my dreams, before my restless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams, you too could pace behind the wagon we flung him in, and watch the white eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face like a devil sick of sin. If you could hear at every jolt the blood come gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud of vile incurable sores on innocent tongues. My friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory. The old lie, dulce et decorum est, pro patria mori. It is sweet and fitting to die for your country.
I wish those people who write so glibly about this being a holy war, and the orators who talk so much about going on no matter how long the war lasts, could see a case, to say nothing of 10 cases of mustard gas in its early stages, could see the poor things burnt and blistered all over with great mustard-colored suppurating blisters, with blind eyes all sticky and stuck together, always fighting for breath, with voices a mere whisper saying that their throats are closing and they know they will choke.
The only thing one can say about such severe cases is that they don't last long. The boys never make it home in the States we have them here. And yet people persist in saying God made the war when all I see are inventions of the devil.
Perhaps someday the sun will shine again, and I shall see that still the skies are blue, and that I do not live in vain, although bereft of you.
Perhaps the golden meadows at my feet will make the sunny hours of spring seem gay, and I will find the white May blossoms sweet, though you have passed away.
Perhaps the summer woods will shimmer bright, and crimson roses once again be fair, and autumn harvest fields a rich delight, although you are not there.
Perhaps someday I shall not shrink in pain to see the passing of the dying year, and to listen to Christmas songs again, although you cannot hear.
But though kind time may many joys renew, there is one greatest joy I shall not know. Again, because my heart, for loss of you, was broken long ago.
In Flanders fields the poppies grow, between the crosses row on row that mark our place. And in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. And now we lie in Flanders fields.
Take up a choral with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep. The poppies grow in Flanders fields. Take up a choral with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch.
Be yours to hold it high.
If ye break faith with us
who die,
we shall not sleep. The poppies grow in Flanders fields.
November 11th, 1918. We were advancing under heavy fire to take a position on the west side of the river. We were just digging in when the bang-bang suddenly stopped. We all wondered what was the matter, but then a messenger came down the line and told us it was over. It was the end of the war.
I was in Lyon the day the armistice was signed. The people were fairly mad with joy. They're sending wounded and crippled soldiers home as fast as they can go. Everyone wants to go home. I'm so glad this dreadful war is over.
I tell you, this is something that will never be forgotten. I'll remember it for as long as I live.
It was my privilege and duty to call roll each morning, and oh, such a lump filled my throat when the boys from my ward went missing. You get so attached to them all.
I would step up to his bedside and he'd say, "Sunshine, take my hand and raise me up." I did, and with his last speck of energy, he said, "I'll answer roll call elsewhere in the morning." That was all.
I would so like to see those fine North Dakota nurses again, with whom I served. Somehow, North Dakota has always been close to my heart. Some of the happiest moments of my life have been spent there. I close this letter now. I am, and always will be,
Your loving son.
Your heartsick mother.
Your lonesome husband.
Your affectionate wife.
Your sweet sailor boy.
Your unfortunate sister.
your devoted daughter. I'll write again soon.
Keep the home fires burning while your hearts are yearning. Though the lads are far away, they dream of home. There's a silver lining through the dark cloud shining. Turn the dark cloud inside out till the boys come home.
I suppose I could tell about the sick and the wounded boys I cared for, or about walking in mud knee-deep to get to the wards, or eating the canned food and living in the cold, all of which we did. But these are not the things I want to remember.
Keep the home fires burning while your hearts are yearning. Though the lads are far away, they dream of home. There's a silver lining through the dark cloud shining. Turn the dark cloud inside out till the boys come home.
I like to remember the opportunities I had to be of service to my girls, to my boys, to my country. These are what I remember. And I thank God He gave me the chance to serve them.
God bless America, land that I love, and these islands, and mountains, through the night make the light come on. From the mountains, to the valleys, to the ocean, like the gold. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home
Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. Johnny, show the Hun you're a son of a gun. Hoist the flag and let her fly. Yankee doodle-doo or die. Pack your little kit, show your grit, do your bit. Yankees to the ranks from the towns and the tanks. Make your mother so proud of you and the old red, white, and blue. Over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, the drums coming everywhere. So prepare,